Hello students, in this lecture I will be discussing with you about transconductance multiplier. Now this transconductance multiplier is an application for op-amp. So this is using op-amp, and before going into discussing about the transconductance part in the multiplier, let us see what is actually multiplier with op-amp. Multiplier with op-amp is called analog multipliers using op-amp, and it is such a circuit in which the output voltage is proportional to the multiplication of input voltage. So this circuit may be seen as an analog signal processing circuit, which often does taking two analog inputs to produce an output proportional to their product. And so if we see how the symbolic representations, there are two symbolic representations basically which are more familiar in this. Suppose this is the symbolic representation of analog multiplier having two inputs as V1 and V2, and the output is denoted by Vout or VO, which is given by K into V1 into V2. That is the product of V1 and V2, the two inputs, is the output, multiplied by K, which is called a scaling factor. So K is what? It is a scaling factor. We may be calling in future it as a gain. It is something related to gain, and there is an alternative of symbolic representation of analog multiplier. It is like this. Now these two are the two inputs. Suppose this is X and this is Y, then the output is shown like this. It is output which is X into Y. This is the another symbolic representation. So then what is we have found what is analog multiplier. Analog multiplier using op-amp is basically an analog circuit or analog signal processing circuit having two inputs, two analog inputs, and one output. That's why the op-amp is being preferred for constructing this amplifier. One output where we can write that output is proportional to the product of the two analog inputs, okay. So therefore we can see that this is the basic symbolic representation and whatever the basic idea of analog multiplier is. Now let us go on to see how this analog multiplier can be constructed. Now to proceed further, we for understanding the analog multiplier, we need to understand first log amplifier and anti-log amplifier. I have already discussed with you in the last two lectures about this using one diode configuration and another with transistor configuration using BJT. So just recollecting those, the circuit and the final expression of log and anti-log amplifier, we have seen that for a log amplifier using op-amp, this was the circuit for a log amplifier where the input is applied at the inverting terminal through a resistance R. This is Vin, and the feedback element is used as a diode, ordinary diode. This is output VO and this is diode D and the non-inverting terminal is connected to ground. So this was the circuit for log amplifier, and the same circuit, only a slight difference is for anti-log amplifier, where the non-inverting terminal is similarly grounded. This is output VO and the Vin is applied similarly at the inverting input through the diode, which was in case of log amplifier at the feedback path. Now it is connected in the input path to the inverting input, inverting terminal, and the feedback element is a resistance R, which was with the input path in case of log amplifier, that is used as a feedback element in this case of anti-log amplifier. So you know, for log and anti-log amplifier, the position of this R and this diode D is swapped, is interchanged. Now for log amplifier, you know, the output expression VO or Vout, whatever, is given by minus eta Vt log of Vin by Is into R, where Vt is called volt equivalent of temperature, volt equivalent of temperature, which is given by K into T divided by E, where K is the Boltzmann constant, T is absolute temperature in Kelvin, and E is the electronic charge of an electron. Now this is called volt equivalent of temperature. We have seen this expression or this term, volt equivalent of temperature, in the discussion about PN junction diodes. So that is Vt here, and this is the expression for the transfer equation for log amplifier, where the output is proportional to logarithm of input, that is Vin, and this minus sign is for inverting mode of operation, and eta Vt is a constant, or we can say the gain for this case, and this Is and R are the two other constant values. Is is reverse saturation current at room temperature and R is the given resistance. So similarly, the transfer equation or the output equation for this anti-log amplifier is given by minus, just swap this term Is into R here and eta Vt here, just change the position of these two and you can get the equation for anti-log amplifier from the given equation of log amplifier. So this is minus Is into R anti-log Vin by eta Vt, where once again Vt is the volt equivalent of temperature, Kt by E, and eta is called ideality factor. You know, I have discussed with you about this in the discussion of logarithmic and anti-logarithmic amplifier. So now once again, this negative sign is for inverting mode of operation. Is into R is the constant or equivalent to gain for this particular anti-log amplifier. So here the output voltage for anti-log amplifier is proportional to anti-logarithm of input voltage. So these are the things we have discussed in the last lecture, in the last two lectures. Now we will use this concept to understand the operation of analog multiplier. So now before moving on into the analog multiplier circuit, let us see its block diagram of connections. Its block diagram of connection is basically, we are having two inputs V1 and V2 suppose, and they are applied to two log amplifiers separately, and the output of these two log amplifiers is applied into a summing amplifier using op amp, or we can say adder or summing amplifier, and its two input is taken out from the two different log amplifiers, and from the summing amplifier its output is connected to an anti-log amplifier, then and from this output of anti-log amplifier is considered the final output VO. So therefore, if we now represent this block diagram of analog multiplier into the circuit diagram, it should be look like this. Let us first take two log amplifiers. So this is V1, this is R at the inverting input, and non-inverting terminal is grounded. For the first log amplifier, a diode D1 is connected in the feedback path in this fashion, and another log amplifier is taken using op amp with input as V2 at the inverting terminal, and this is R, and the feedback path is replaced with a diode D2 with non-inverting terminal is grounded. D2 is present in the feedback path as the feedback element for the second log amplifier. So now suppose this input to the first log amplifier is denoted by VO1, and VO2 is the the output for the first log amplifier is denoted by VO1, and for the second log amplifier as VO2. Then connected two resistances of the same value, R and R, and they are cascaded now, internally connected, to be applied at the inverting input of the op amp, which is working as an adder or summing amplifier like this, and its non-inverting input is grounded. Once again, the feedback element is replaced with a resistance R, and the output of this is denoted by VO3, the output of this summer or adder, and then finally the adder output VO3 is connected onto an anti-log amplifier. In this fashion, so this is anti-log amplifier. The feedback element is a resistance of same value R, and that is connected with the output, where the from there the final output VO is taken. So in this diagram, this is the whole diagram for analog multiplier. This part is the first part is the log amplifiers part. There are two log amplifiers. The second part, this one, is adder or summing amplifier part. And the third one is this one, is the anti-log amplifier part. And as a whole, it is analog multiplier circuit. Okay, so this is the circuit for analog multiplier. Now let us find the transfer equation for the final VO for this whole analog multiplier. So let us start from the first part, log amplifiers. So what should be the transfer equation for a log amplifier? We know. Let us assume the transfer equation for log amplifier that is the relation between its output and input and output. VO is equal to minus eta Vt log Vin by Is into R. This is the expression we already know. Now what should be VO1 and VO2 if this is the general equation for log amplifier, because these two are log amplifiers. So therefore VO1 can be written as minus eta Vt log, what is Vin in this case? It is V1. So this is V1 by Is into R, and therefore VO2 is also, and VO2 is minus eta Vt log of V2 by Is into R. So now we have found in this fashion what should be the VO1 and VO2, and these two VO1 and VO2 are being treated as the input to this summing amplifier or adder, okay, which is working in inverting mode. Now since it is working in inverting mode, we know for a summer that its gain is gain for inverting mode is equal to minus Rf by R1, where Rf is the feedback resistance, R1 is the input resistance of the R1 is the resistance connected to the input terminal, inverting input terminal of the op amp, and here in this case both Rf and R1 as per this diagram is R. So therefore minus R by R, so this is minus 1. So if we now try to find what is VO3, it is the addition of VO1 and VO2 while this op amp is working in inverting mode. So therefore how can we write VO3 in terms of VO1 and VO2? Therefore VO3 is minus Rf by R1, in this case summation of VO1 plus VO2 as its two inputs. Now this Rf by R1 is minus 1, so this is minus VO1 plus VO2. Okay, now substitute VO1 and VO2 here. What is VO1? We have already found, minus eta Vt log V1 by ISR. So this is minus eta Vt log V1 by Is into R, and this is also minus eta Vt log V2 by Is into R. So therefore if we simplify this, eta Vt is taken as common within the bracket, it is log V1 by Is into R plus log V2 by Is into R. Okay, minus is also common and taken outside, so it has become plus. Okay, so now this is eta Vt. Now this is the apply the formula of logarithm from your basic mathematics. This is log V1 V2 by Is square into R square. So this is VO3. Okay, now this is my equation number 3, and suppose we are considering these two as equation number 1 and 2, VO1 and VO2. Now what VO3 is doing? VO3 is being applied at the input. It is applied as the input to the anti-log amplifier. Now let us write the equation for anti-log amplifier. For anti-log amplifier, we know in inverting mode this should be VO is equal to minus IS into R anti-log of V in by eta Vt. We have seen earlier, you can see the expression for anti-log amplifier minus Is into R anti-log V in by eta Vt. V in by eta Vt. So this is the expression. Now therefore, considering this circuit, if we want to find the final VO, final output of this whole circuit, so we should be using VO3 as the input to the inverting terminal of the anti-log amplifier, this part. So just replace this VO3 in here at this V in. So therefore final output is minus Is into R anti-log of, what is V in now? It is VO3, that means eta Vt log of V1 V2 divided by Is square R square divided by eta Vt. Now this eta Vt cancels out, so therefore this is minus Is into R anti-log of log of this term. So anti-log and log, it is the reverse operation, so they will also cancel each other, so only the term will remain into V1 V2 by Is square R square. Now one Is and R is cancelled out, so this is Is into R, so therefore we may write VO is given by minus V1 V2 by Is into R. Now from here let us consider this to be written as minus K into V1 V2, where K is given by 1 by Is into R, and so this is the transfer equation for analog multiplier. So from here we can say that output voltage of analog multiplier is proportional to some constant times of product of two input voltages, and that constant is given by 1 by Is into R, because both Is and R is constant for a particular temperature, and this negative sign indicates the whole circuit is working in inverting mode, all the op amps. Now let us introduce the transconductance part, the idea of transconductance part in this amplifier. So for understanding the transconductance part over here, because this is the output expression for analog multiplier, now if we want to introduce the transconductance part in this expression, or rather we need if we want to explain this expression using the concept of transconductance, let us once again go on to see the circuit. So this was the circuit for analog multiplier. Now here let us connect the load resistance denoted by RL with the final output terminal of the analog multiplier, and from the V1 and V2, from the two inputs through this whole circuit, suppose the final current that is flowing into this output terminal of the last stage of this circuit is IO. Through this node into this ground, suppose the current IO is flowing, as the output current. So IO is output current flowing into the ground through this load resistance RL for this final stage of analog multiplier output. So therefore, we may write, considering this, that this VO, this output voltage, is IO into RL, output current into load resistance, where IO is output current and RL is load resistance. Now we know for a ideal transconductance amplifier, for ideal OTA, in short we can say, which is called operational transconductance amplifier, the transfer equation is, for an OTA, IO is given by V in plus minus V in minus into GM, G suffix M, where V in plus is voltage at non-inverting input of the op amp or the amplifier, and V in minus is the voltage at inverting input of the op amp or the amplifier, and GM is called transconductance. So as we know that ideal operational transconductance amplifier is basically a VCCS. It is basically VCCS, voltage controlled current source. That means, why it is called voltage controlled current source? That is, it is giving current at its output, which is IO. That's why it is current source. And why it is voltage controlled? Because at the input expression we have taken this expression V in plus minus V in minus. We have taken two voltages at the two input terminals, and they are controlling whatever with their values, the value of the magnitude of the output current. So therefore, it is a voltage controlled current source. With the help of voltages at the inputs, we are getting an amount of current at the output. And these two relations between output current and input voltages, rather we can say the differential input voltage, this is called V in plus V in plus minus V in minus. This is called differential input voltage. So the output current is dependent on differential input voltage via a parameter which is called GM, denoted by transconductance. Hence, this voltage controlled current source is alternately called transconductance amplifier. Here already I have written transconductance amplifier. So, and with the help of op amp it is being constructed, so that's why it is called operational transconductance amplifier. In short, it is called OTA. So therefore, if we now want to find the gain of this particular amplifier, then we have that output voltage, its gain is VO divided by V in plus minus V in minus, and that is equal to, you can see from here, if you compare these two equations, this IO is VO by RL. From here we can write IO as VO by RL, and here IO is this much. So now compare these two. So VO by RL is equal to V in plus minus V in minus. So VO by RL is equal to V in. So this is V in plus minus V in minus. Now if we shift the positions, take this in the denominator and this in the right side, RL. So this is VO by this into GM. Obviously there is GM. So this VO divided by V in plus minus V in minus is given by RL into GM. So this is all about. No, so now this is the voltage gain of OTA. So the voltage gain is having a factor, it is dependent on transconductance and the load resistance for OTA, a transconductance amplifier. Now if we want to add the multiplication part over here, then using this expression we may explain that V1 and V2, let us suppose they are the two differential voltages at the two inputs of the two logarithmic amplifiers what we have used to construct this multiplier. So V1, V2 are differential voltages, and since their non-inverting terminals are grounded, that means if we consider this V1 and V2 as differential voltage, so putting over this for these cases of log amplifiers, suppose V in we are seeing that V in plus is 0 because of ground non-inverting terminal being grounded, and V in minus is V1 or V2, whatever, for the two amplifiers we have seen over here. So therefore, if we consider the absolute value of V1 and V2 from their differential values, because then V in plus minus V in minus is actually coming as 0 minus V1 or 0 minus V2. So this is either minus V1 or minus V2. Now taking their absolute values and putting over here to be multiplied by K, where K is given by this, is the output voltage for this analog multiplier. Now since we are discussing finally it is transconductance multiplier, so let us replace this output. So we have taken at the input what? The input, the differential input and their absolute value as V1 and V2. Taken from minus V1 and minus V2, we have taken the absolute value of the inputs and we have done their product, and that product multiplied by a constant or scaling factor will be giving us a voltage which is output voltage. This is for a general analog multiplier, but if we want to describe it or establish it as a transconductance multiplier, to introduce the term transconductance, then this VO should be written as what? IO into RL. So from here, from this expression, we can write this VO is equal to minus K V1 V2 IO into RL is equal to minus K V1 V2. Okay, so therefore what is IO? It is minus K divided by RL into V1 V2. Now if we write IO in this fashion equal to minus K prime V1 V2, where K prime is given by K by RL, then by introducing the load resistance into this expression, we are seeing that this IO is given by minus K prime V1 V2. Now if we consider this K prime as the transconductance, because if we want to compare this expression now, IO equal to minus K prime into V1 V2 with this expression, the expression for transconductance amplifier, where we have taken these two as the inputs. Now my input is this V in plus minus V in minus, this is nothing but V1 V2 here, and this is the input product of the two inputs. So if we now replace over this expression this V1 V2 and VO is my output, so therefore we can write this VO by V1 V2 is equal to RL GM. So therefore we can consider this equation as the final equation from this expression. Instead of writing VO, we are writing here as IO because we want to express IO as the output current because it is transconductance multiplier. So we want to establish that output current is directly proportional. IO is directly proportional output current to the product of two input voltages which are differential inputs, that is V1 and V2. Okay, so now if this is established, then this should be called, this circuit should be called transconductance multiplier. Now what should be the gain of this or the scaling factor for this? The scaling factor is obviously minus K by RL. So rather we can write here as 1 by IS into R into RL. So this is my scaling factor. So what is scaling factor or gain? It is 1 by IS into R into RL. So we have introduced the load resistance in its final expression. So therefore we can say this is the IO is proportional to V1 V2, which is establishing the operation of transconductance multiplier. Now if we compare this equation IO equal to minus K prime V1 V2 with this expression IO equal to V in plus minus V in minus whole into GM, then we can say that if we consider this V1 into V2, the product of this differential input voltage is this expression actually for transconductance multiplier, then minus K prime must be the value of GM. If we consider minus for its inverting mode of operation, then K prime must be my GM. Okay, so what is K prime? It is 1 by IS into R into RL. So this is nothing but my GM. So this is the transconductance. So the constant term or the scaling factor for establishing this proportionality relation is my transconductance given by 1 by IS into R into RL. All these are constants. So that's why the GM is a constant, which is transconductance, a constant value for this particular transconductance amplifier. So this is all about I had to discuss for this circuit. I hope you have enjoyed and understood. Thank you.